Hello, everybody. This is Hybrid, and today I'll be reviewing Young Justice episode 24 titled Performance. And I believe that it could be referencing the performance of the team, as throughout the episode, their performance levels go down whenever they come in contact with a particular person, which I will go into later. Or maybe the fact that Red Arrow was kind of judging the team's performance to find who the mole was. It also could be how basically a circus is just a bunch of performances. But those are just my ideas on why the episode is called Performance. So yeah, let's go with a brief synopsis of the episode. Basically, Haley Circus, the same circus that Robin used to belong to, is being accused of being involved in a bunch of robberies, as whenever they stop somewhere, that area gets robbed. So the team, or Young Justice, as you guess you could just call them, they go undercover as new circus acts to kind of figure out what's going on. They eventually figure out Parasite is kind of disguised as somebody on the circus and stealing various parts from every single stop they go on to build a black hole generator, which doesn't really make sense. Eventually, they stop Parasite because he was absorbing their powers, particularly Miss Martian, Superboy, and Robin's abilities of acrobatics for Robin, Kryptonian abilities for Superboy, and Martian abilities for Miss Martian. So they use Miss Martian's weakness of fire against him, and with that, he is defeated, and the authorities put a power inhibitor collar on him, similar to the one that they have in Bella Reeve, and everybody goes on their merry way. So I had one real issue with the episode, and that was Red Arrow. And the reason is because throughout the series so far, he's been making a big deal, especially when Artemis joined, about how there's a mole on the team. They gotta find the mole. You can't trust each other, stuff like that. When by the end of the episode, even though it's been really only two missions with the team, all of a sudden he has a change of heart, like a dramatic change of heart, where he's smiling now and he's all like, well, you know, I can trust you guys now. I have faith. There is no mole on the team. To which I have to say, as a viewer of the show, I've watched every episode so far, and I'm familiar with the comics, but this doesn't really go exactly with the comics because one, it's a show, and two, the fact that it's a different universe, Earth 16, I believe. But yeah, basically, I'm like, really, you make such a big deal out of it, yet now all of a sudden it's all good. That makes no sense, considering how long you've been kind of bagging on the whole mold on the team thing. But that's just me. A few good things I liked about the episode was how they kind of went into Robin's backstory without going all the way into it, and how they kind of, you got to see more of a not so by the book robot slash Batman kind of clone of Robin they usually do. You saw more of a personal side of him, where you saw him being biased and doing something because he wanted to protect somebody's reputation and protect that person, so they don't lose their job. And I kind of like that because that's what Robin's like in the comics. He's he'll do things for friends that maybe Batman won't do, or maybe someone else won't do, but because he wants to protect that person, or watch out for that person. So I found that interesting. And then, well, actually, I guess all heroes are like that, but Robin in particular, I liked how they kind of went with that for him in this episode, because it really shows that even though he has all his training, he's all disciplined and whatnot, he still has that side to him. That's a everyday person, you could say. But then also, I also liked how Superboy, he they they have more Superboy of not being a kind of Hulk like character where he's just always pissed off and trying to destroy stuff. Except for he did do that once throughout the episode, or once in the episode with the whole warehouse, or not warehouse, but near the end with Parasite when they were fighting him. He just kind of ran up there and smashed him, which then Parasite just absorbed his abilities. And I was like, really, Superboy? You've been through so much in the episode. Why are you doing this? Also, I don't mean to go back to my kind of thorns, but another thorn I had was the fact that Superboy is starting to become what I call the show's version of a drug addict. And the reason I say that is because he's constantly using the patches now. He used them like 4 times, I think, in the episode alone, just so he can have that edge of being a full Kryptonian, I guess. And I don't really like how they're doing that. I think that they should have never even came up with that. Like, maybe when he got it from Lex Luthor, he used it to fight the bad clone, but that's it, you know? Like, I felt he shouldn't have given him back, because now he's going to become a drug addict example. And I find that kind of ironic, because they did a drug addict-like thing with Speedy in the comics, in, a few years, like, not years, but decades, I think, ago, with Green Arrow and Green Lantern kind of figuring out, oh, snap, Speedy's on drugs. That's actually interesting, too, because there's a drug called Speed. But, yeah, sorry, I just kind of went off topic there. But yeah, the episode, few great things. Obviously the art's still good, voice acting's great. The whole thing with Artemis and Red Arrow, their relationship seems to be better. Obviously Superboy. I find it weird. I feel like Superboy and Miss Martian might come under some fire, no pun intended, because of the fact that, Miss Martian has telepathy, and she might use that against Superboy sometime in the episode. And when that happens, I feel it's going to be a really big deal with the whole Lex Luthor contact thing. But who knows? Maybe that won't happen. That's just me thinking. But I'm looking forward to new episodes. And I hope Beast Boy comes back, because he was in the earlier episodes with the whole blood transfusion and whatnot. And I know he's going to become Beast Boy. It's going to happen. Like, his eyes turn green. Like, that's the biggest, like, hint you could get for Beast Boy. The fact that a green-skinned person gave him a blood transfusion, then his eyes turned green. Like, come on, that's epic. At least for a comic book fan that loves Beast Boy, that's pretty epic. Also, the episode, my voice, man. My voice has been crazy today. I don't know why. But since this is a review of the episode itself, I would give the episode 8 out of 10. On the whole thing with, you should watch this episode. It's not a you have to watch it when it airs episode, though. Like, you can DVR it or TiVo it, whatever. But yeah, it was good overall. A few things, maybe for someone who's watched the whole series so far, didn't really like about it, or somebody that just watches TV in general or reads comics didn't like about it. And I'm referencing the whole my thorns, but I think I left this out. But a massive rose I have for this episode is basically the whole fact that, it really shows how much the team has grown from being like a kind of dysfunctional family to, they actually trust each other. Like, when Superboy ran out there against Parasite, everybody was like, let's trust him. And then everybody, kind of the open mind thing they were doing throughout the episode, and how, even though Miss Martian was weakened, obviously, her and even Robin when he was weakened, they didn't leave each other, and they helped each other when they were hurt and everything. And I just thought, they're coming a long way, considering the fact that they used to be, like, not really unified. But yeah, so again, looking forward to a new episode, and I believe after this I'm going to probably do my Ultimate Spider-Man review. So I guess stay tuned for that.